Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how to analyze your paid ad results. This guide is applicable to both Facebook and TikTok ads. So first, the overall strategy. Once you start running paid ads, you need to leave them for at least 2 to 3 days to optimize. The algorithm takes time to learn who your ideal customer is. You need to spend money to give it data to look for that customer. So once you start running ads, unless your metrics are absolutely terrible, you need to wait 2 to 3 days before really analyzing it. In addition, make sure you spend at least $100 before you start making judgments with your ads. Don't make judgments at $50, wait till around $100. And generally, if you don't even get sales within $100 of ad spend, you should kill the product. Now, the only exception to this is if you're selling an expensive product that's over, $100, $150, then it might be worth leaving it for longer. But generally, if you can't even get one sale within $100 of ad spend, it'll be very hard to be profitable. Make sure you know your break-even cost per purchase and ROAS. This is how much you can spend on getting a new customer without losing money. So you can always use online calculators for this. For example, if your product cost and shipping is $10 and you're selling a product for $20, your profit margin is $10, which means you need to get a customer for less than $10 to be profitable. If you spend more, you're unprofitable. So you need to know your break-even cost per purchase and ROAS before running ads. And with your paid ads, the key metrics that you need to analyze are the link cost per click, which is how much it costs to get one person onto your website from your ad, the link click-through rate, which is what percentage of people click through to your website after seeing the ad, and the cost per purchase and ROAS overall. And the reason I stay overall is because the ads manager might show you one sale, but on Shopify, you might have two. So you need to really look at the overall picture to make the judgments. As for all of these metrics, you can set everything up on the ads manager. I've shown you how to do that in a separate video. So next, the ideal metrics. The link cost per click is how much it costs to get somebody to click onto your website. This measures how good your ad is at generating interest. And ideally, you want to have a link cost per click of under $1. Now, depending on your niche, the link cost per click can vary. In certain niches, such as beauty, the cost per click could be higher, but you might be profitable. In other niches, your cost per click might be a lot lower, but you may not be profitable. So do the math. If you get a standard 3% conversion rate, this means that 1 out of 33 people purchase from your website. If each click costs you $1, that means that your cost per purchase will be $33. Can you afford that? This is why your margins must be strong. Your margins must be strong in order to afford advertising. That's why I tell you guys to have a 3 to 5x markup on your product so you can make sure you can afford paid ads. Now, obviously, the conversion rate can vary. You might have a lower conversion rate or a higher conversion rate. In addition, your cost per click can vary. You might have a higher cost per click or a lower cost per click. But in general, you do need to do the math to make sure you have enough profit margins to be profitable. Next, the link CTR is what percentage of people click through onto your website after viewing your ad. It is directly correlated to your link CPC. If you have a higher link CTR, you will have a lower link CPC. And ideally, you want to have a link CTR of around 1 to 3%. In certain niches, you can be profitable with a very low CTR. But ideally, you want to have a CTR of around 1 to 3%, if not more. And finally, cost per purchase is how much it costs to acquire a new customer. Ideally, your ad campaigns should be profitable or at worst breaking even. If you're breaking even, it means you can optimize it and improve it to make it profitable. And finally, the ROAS is your return on ad spend. For example, if you spend $1 on ads and you make back $2 in revenue, you have a 2 ROAS. So the ROAS is also a good metric to analyze. So funnel troubleshooting. It's very important that you learn how to read your data accurately. It's one of the most important skills you need to have to run paid ads. The answer to your question is always in the numbers. Now, once again, you have to leave your ads for 2 to 3 days before making judgments and analyzing results. Facebook and TikTok, they need time to learn who your ideal customer is. So make sure you don't make judgments too early. Now, the exception to this is if your ad results are absolutely terrible and way off target on day one. For example, if you have a $3 cost per click with a 0.2% CTR. Now, this is just an example. A $3 cost per click can also be good because it depends on the CPM, which is why you need to look at the CTR and CPC together. The CPM is how much it costs for 1,000 people to see your ad. You might have a very high CPM, which gives you a high cost per click. For example, a $3 cost per click with a 0.2% CTR is not the same as a $3 cost per click with a 3% CTR. So you need to look at both metrics together to really make a judgment on your CPC. More importantly, the only metric that truly matters is your cost per purchase and ROAS. Link CPC and link CTR are only indicators. Okay, if you have any questions regarding how to analyze your paid ads, drop a screenshot of your ad metrics in the e-commerce paid traffic chat and I'll be there to help. You could have very cheap link CPCs and very high link CTRs, but if nobody's purchasing, those ads aren't good. So these are only indicators. The most important metric is your cost per purchase. Are you profitable? Are you making money? That is the question you have to ask. Now, once you're running ads, there are 3 scenarios that you're going to face. Based on this, you should always know what your next moves are so you can continue to stay consistent. I'm going to go into detail regarding each of these 3 scenarios right now. So the first scenario, the best scenario, profitable. If your ads are profitable after 2 to 3 days, you're in a great position. This means that the market likes your product and you have the potential now to really scale it. So after 3 days, if your ROAS is higher than 2, you can start scaling your ad sets in order to bring more sales in. Now, scaling means increasing the budget. There are 2 ways to do this. You could either increase the budget on the existing ad set or you can duplicate it. Both methods work, but it depends on your account. Now, the method I recommend is duplication. When you increase a budget on an existing ad set, the learning phase resets, which means you could lose all the performance you had. Which is why I recommend duplicating the ad set. And when you duplicate an ad set, make sure you keep the original one running. So once again, the first method, you can increase the budget by up to 50% on an ad set. And make sure you do this at 12 a.m. Once you increase the budget, your ads will go back into the learning phase. So make sure you give it 2 to 3 days to really optimize after scaling the budget. The second method and the preferred method is to duplicate the ad set. With this method, you can scale much faster. You can duplicate the ad set and double the budget. So you can go from $10 per ad set to $20 per ad set. And once you've launched the ad set, make sure you leave it for 2 to 3 days to optimize once again. And if you're profitable, you just keep on repeating this process. The second scenario, breaking even. If your ads are breaking even or you're slightly profitable, you're also in a good position. The market wants your product, but you just need to optimize your ads and make your messaging clearer. In this case, you should test new creatives and new audiences. And generally, as you scale, your ROAS will decrease. In the beginning, when you start running ads, Facebook and TikTok really go after people who are most interested in purchasing. But as they go after broader people, your ROAS will decrease. So even if you're slightly profitable, you should still be testing new creatives and new audiences to really make it a lot more profitable. So once you scale, the dip in ROAS will still keep you profitable. For creatives, you can test a new thumbnail or a new opening scene of the video ad that's working. Make sure you make small iterations of the video ad and not completely change it, as it's very close to profitable. The ad is working, but it needs to be optimized and improved to just push it over the edge. For audiences, look at your best performing interests and duplicate them with similar interests from the suggestions tab. So, for example, if you're selling a fitness product, if Nike is working, try targeting Adidas, a very similar interest to the one that's working. In addition, make sure you improve your website to increase the conversion rate. Make sure you have higher quality product images, product reviews, a faster site speed, and better product description. The more you can improve your website, the higher your conversion rate will be, which will reduce your cost per purchase. And finally, the last scenario, losing money. If your ads are losing money after 2 to 3 days of running them, you may need to start over with a new product. If you're close to breaking even, if you're within 20%, you can test new ad creatives and audiences by referring to scenario 2. A few changes may suddenly make your ads profitable. An example of this is if you've spent $100 on ads and made back $120 in revenue, but if your product costs were $40, your loss was $20. So after spending $100, you've only lost $20. In that situation, you may need to test new ad creatives and audiences to make it profitable. However, if your results are far from successful, move on to a new product. So for example, if you've spent 100 on ads and only made back 50 in revenue, not even including product costs, then you're very far from profitable. It could be a sign that there's no demand for that product. You want to move on to a new one and repeat this process over and over again until you find a profitable campaign. Remember, this is a numbers game. The faster you test in this game without emotion, the better.